One thing I'm realizing recently is the idea of wanting something bad enough, right? There are people that have goals and there are people that want certain things, but they're passing thoughts. They're just things that we think of as we're walking down. At the mall, you might walk through the Louis Vuitton store and you might say, oh, I'd like to have a Louis Vuitton bag someday. Or maybe it's a Rolex watch. Or maybe it's not even any material thing. Maybe it's travel, a vacation to Dominican Republic or something. Whatever it may be for you, there are things that you say you want, right? Everybody does this. Everybody has desires. Everybody looks and says, I want this, I want that. Or maybe it's not even anything to do with material. Maybe it's your body. Maybe you might be like, oh, I want to improve my body. I want to be physically fit. I want to improve my health. I want to just read more books. I want to be more knowledgeable. Everybody has things that they want to do, right? But the thing is, you don't want it bad enough if you don't have it. If you're not making significant progress towards it, what it means is that you don't want it bad enough. And this is something that it took me a while to realize because I always thought that I wanted it bad. And I think I do want it bad, but I wasn't living in relation to how bad I wanted it. I was fooling myself, and you might be doing this too. This is why I'm saying it. But you might be fooling yourself, telling yourself that you want that life and you have these ambitious goals and you want those things really badly. But ask yourself, how are you living on the day-to-day? Because if you're not living in alignment to acquiring those things, which being if you want money, for example, working 40, 60, 80 hours a week efficiently, smartly, then that perhaps means that you just don't want it bad enough. And so go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, what do you really want? Do you want a life of wealth and money and success and maybe travel or health? Or do you want a life of influence, of impact, of maybe being an organizer for charity? Like there are so many, maybe you want to be a musician, right? There's so many different paths your life can take. But if you're telling yourself you want something, I want this, I want this, I want this, and you're not actually making any progress towards it, all that means is that you don't want it bad enough, right? So as I said, go back, ask yourself, what do you really want? Because you can have anything you want if you put your mind to it. You can have anything you want. I firmly believe that. And there's a lot of people that also support me in saying that, like anything is possible if you put your mind to it, but you have to put your mind to it, right? That's the important component. A lot of us are very dispersed in the things that we want when we have to be a little bit more selective and sacrifice a few different things. For example, if you are somebody who wants an extremely fit, like high level, top 1% body, as an example, that's going to mean that you're going to have to sacrifice partying every week. So you have to pick one or two. You can't do both. It's very, very, very difficult to do both. In some scenarios, maybe you can, but in general, you're inhibiting yourself from achieving that fitness goal if you're constantly going out and partying and drinking frequently and maybe having a poor diet, right? So you have to ask yourself, what do you want right now? And your wants can change as you grow older and as you kind of have different values and stuff like that. But that's the main message of this video, okay? Just ask yourself what you really want. And when you know what you really want, now you just structure your life around it. But don't have yourself half-ass multiple things. Don't be like, I'm gonna do this and this and this and this and this. Pick one or two or three or a couple and focus on them one at a time. For myself right now, I'm focused on success financially and my physical fitness, right? So with those two things in mind, I'm not partying nearly as much as I used to 2, 3, 4 years ago, right? I used to party way more back then, but now my priorities are shifting. And so given that, I'm aligning myself with what my priorities are. So that's what I'm thinking. That's my reflection. This entire channel is just, I'm not trying to like preach, or I'm not trying to tell you like what to do and what not to do. I'm just speaking about what works for me. And this is a realization that I've made recently. And even if you think of like a lot of the big self-help books that a lot of people recommend and talk about, like Think and Grow Rich, the main idea, that the concept behind the book is a definiteness of desire. Whatever, I don't know what vernacular they use, but it's the idea that you have to know very definitely, very clearly what you want. And once you have that, once you can target towards that, now you're completely focused on that and you do everything around it. So keep that in mind. Hope this inspired or helped in any way. If you have any thoughts, any ideas, anything you disagree with, let me know as well. These are just my thoughts. It's pretty much just like a journal of life, I guess, of what I am learning along the way. But if you have something that maybe contradicts with that, let me know and we could discuss in the comments. Other than that, hope you have a phenomenal day and I will see you again very, very soon. Peace. Also, like, comment, subscribe. All right. Peace.